Well, hello again. Welcome back. Sorry for the delay yesterday. We didn't get one up yesterday. Yesterday was a travel day, and the night before we were going to read, it was a big storm came up and trying to get everything loaded and all that good stuff before it was time to get out. But anyway, enough about that. Let's get into today's reading. Today is day 161. 161. Oh yeah, I'm also filling in for him today because he's at work and we needed to get this up today. So today we're doing 161. We are doing 2nd Chronicles 33 and 34 today. 33 and 34. Messiah was 12 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 55 years in Jerusalem, but did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, like unto the abominations of the heathens, whom the Lord had cast out before the children of Israel. For he built again the high places which Hezekiah his father had broke down, and he reared up altars for Balaam, and made groves, and worshipped all the host of heaven and served them. Also he built altars in the house of the Lord, whereof the Lord had said, In Jerusalem shall my name be forever. It's windy out here today. And he built the altars for all the hosts of heaven in the 2 courts of the house of the Lord. And he caused his children to pass through the fire in the valley of his son, of Hinnom. Also he observed times, and used enchantments, and used witchcraft, and dealt with a familiar spirit. And with wizards he wrought much evil in sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger. And he set a carved image, the idol which he had made, in the house of God. God had said to David and to Solomon his son, in this house and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen before all the tribes of Israel, will I put my name forever. Neither will I any more remove the foot of Israel from out of the land which I have anointed for your fathers, so that they will take heed to all that I have commanded them, according to the whole law and the statutes and the ordinance by the hand of Moses. So Messiah made Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem to err and to do worse than the heathens from the Lord had destroyed before the children of Israel. And the Lord spoke to Messiah, and to his people, but they would not hearken. Wherefore the Lord brought upon them the captains of the host, the kings of Assyria, which took Messiah among the thorns, and bound him with feathers, and carried him to Babylon. And when he was in affliction, he besought the Lord his God, and humbled himself greatly before the God of his father, and prayed unto him, and he was entreated of him, and heard his speculations, and brought him again to Jerusalem into his kingdom. When Messiah knew that the Lord was God, now after this he built a wall without the city of David, on the west side of Gihon, in the valley, even to entering into at the fish gate, and compassed about a field, and raised it up a very great height. Put captains of war in all the fenced cities of Judah. And he took away the strange gods and the idols out of the house of the Lord, and all the altars that he had built in the mounts of the house of the Lord, and in Jerusalem, and cast them out of the city. And he repaired the altar of the Lord, and sacrificed thereon peace offerings and thank offerings, and commanded Judah to serve the Lord of Israel. Nevertheless, the people did sacrifice still in the high places, yet unto the Lord their God. Only now the rest in the act of Messiah and his prayer unto his God, and the words of the seers that spake to him in the name of the Lord of Israel. Behold, they are written in the book of the king of Israel. His prayers also, and how God has reiterated of him and all his sins, and his trespasses, and the places wherein he built high places, and set up groves and graven images. Before he was humbled, behold, they are written among the saying of the seers. So Messiah slept with his fathers, and they buried him in his own house, and Ammon his son reigned in his stead. Ammon was 22 years old when he began to reign. He reigned 2 years in Jerusalem, but he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, as did Messiah his father. For Ammon sacrificed unto all the carvings images which Messiah his father had made, served them, and humbled not himself before the Lord, as Manasseh his father had humbled himself. But Ammon trespassed more and more, and his servants conspired against him, and slew him in his own house. But the people of the land slew all of them, and had conspired against King Ammon. And the people of the land made Josiah his son king of his stead. Josiah was 8 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned in Jerusalem 31 years. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, and walked in the ways of David his father, and declined neither to the right hand nor the left. For the 8th year of his reign, while he was yet young, he began to seek after the God of David his father. In the 12th year he began to purge Judah and Jerusalem from the high places, and the groves, and the carved images, and the molten images. And they baked down the altars of Balaam in his presence, and the images that were on high above them. He cut down, and the groves and the carved images and the molten images he brake in pieces, and made dust of them, and strewed it upon the graves of them that had sacrificed unto them. And he burnt the bones of the priests upon their altars, and cleansed Judah and Jerusalem. And so did he in the cities of Messina, and Ephraim and Simon, even unto Naphtali and their madhocks around about. And when he had broke down the altars and the groves, and had beaten the grave images into the powder, and cut down all the idols throughout all the lands of Israel, and returned to Jerusalem. Now in the 18th year of his reign, when he had purged the land and the house, he sent Shaphan the son of Azaliah, and Maslat to the governor of the city, and Jonah the son of from following the son of, knew that was missing a page. That did not go together. Josiah, the recorder, to repair the house of the Lord his God. And when they came to Hilkiah and the high priest, and they delivered the money that was brought into the house of God, which the Levites that kept the doors had gathered of the hand of Manasseh and Ephraim, and all of the remnants of Israel, and all of Judea and Benjamin. And they returned to Jerusalem, and they put it in the hand of the workmen that had the oversight of the house of the Lord. And they gave it to the workmen that wrought in the house of the Lord, to repair and amend the house, even to the artificers, and build grave that they it to buy hewn hew stone and timber for couplings, and to floor the houses which the king of Judah had destroyed. And the men did the work faithfully, and the overseers of them were Jehatha and Obaiah, the Levites of the son of Merari, and Zechariah, and Mesullam, the son of Calatharites, to set it forward, and other of the Levites, all that could skill of instruments of music. Also they were over the bearers of burdens, and were overseers of all that wrought the work of in any manner of service. And of the Levites there were scribes and officers and porters. And when they brought out the money that was brought unto the house of the Lord, Hilkiah the priest found a book of the law of the Lord given by Moses. And Hilkiah answered and said to Shaphan the scribe, I have found the book of the law in the house of the Lord. And Hilkiah delivered the book of And Shaphan carried the book to the king, and brought the king's word back again, saying, all that was committed to the servants, they do it. And they have gathered together the money that was found in the house of the Lord, and have delivered it to the hands of the overseers, and to the hands of the workmen. Then Shaphan the scribe told the king, saying, Hilkiah the priest hath given me a book. And Shaphan read it before the king. And it came to pass, when the king had heard the word of the law, that he rent his clothes. And the king commanded Hilkiah and Achim the son of Shaphan, and Aban the son of Micah, and Shaphan the scribe, and the Isaiah the servant of the king, saying, go inquire of the Lord for me, and for them, and that are left in Israel and Judah, in concerning the words of the book that is found. For great is the wrath of the Lord that is poured out upon us, because our fathers have not kept the word of the Lord, to do after all that is written in this book. And Hilkiah and they, the king had appointed, went to Hudullah, and prophetess, the wife of Shallum, the son of Tikvath, the son of Ashrah, keeper of the wardrobe. Now she dwelt in Jerusalem in the college, and they spake to her that effect. And she answered them, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, tell ye the man that sent you to me. Thus the Lord, behold, I will bring evil upon this place, and upon the inhabitants thereof, even all the curses that are written in the book which they have read before the king of Judea, because they have forsaken me, and have burnt incense unto other gods, that they might provoke me to anger with all the works of their hands. Therefore my wrath shall be poured out upon his place, and shall not be quenched. And as for the king of Judea, who sent you to inquire of the Lord, to shall ye say unto him, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, concerning the words which thou hast heard, because thine heart was tender, and thou didst humble thyself before God, when thou heardest his word against his place, and against an inhabitants thereof, and humblest thyself before me, and didst rescind thy clothes, and wept before me. I have even heard thee also, saith the Lord. Behold, I will gather thee to thy fathers, and thou shalt be gathered to thy grave in peace. Neither shall thine eyes see all the evil that I will bring upon his place, and upon the inhabitants of the same. So they brought the king's word again. Then the king sat and gathered together all the eldest of Judah and Jerusalem, and the king went up into the house of the Lord, and all the men of Judea, and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and the priests priests and the Levites, and all the people, great and small, and he read in their ears all the words of the book of the covenant that was found in the house of the Lord. And the king stood in his place and made a covenant before the Lord, to walk after the Lord, to keep his commandment and his testimonies and his statutes with all his heart and with all his soul, to perform the words of the covenant which are written in this book. And he caused all that were present in Jerusalem and Benjamin to stand to it. And the inhabitants of Jerusalem did according to the covenant of God, the God of their fathers. And Josiah took away all the abominations out of the countries that pertained to the children of Israel, and made all that were present to Israel to serve, even serve the Lord their God. And all these days they depart not. There's a bee. Keeps on trying to come at me. From following the Lord, the God of their fathers. And that's it for today. Thank you for coming. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to tell somebody about Jesus and tell them about the Bible. Have a great day.